Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, the 1st of March, and that means it is Fibre Feast in Adelaide. Really, really exciting day for us Adelaidean yarn lovers. I'm really excited to go this year and have a little look around at what's there. Now, I am going solo this year. Kendall is off having a great old time in Sydney. And unfortunately, she's devastated that she's missing it, and it means I am going on my own. But that's okay. I thought I'd bring you guys along. I thought I would film a bit of the process, a bit of the journey, and show you what's around. I've got a few stalls that I'm really looking forward to going and seeing. I'm going to pop by Skein Machine, see what they have put up and exciting new yarns that they might have. I really want to go see Leas in Wool again, just to see what they've got. I do not plan on buying anything. I am trying really hard this year to just buy yarn as I'm about to start a project so that it is very intentional and I'm not having a lot of yarn in stash and, I then get too excited of like, oh, I've got this yarn and I really want to cast on this thing, and then I struggle to finish what I'm working on. So I'm just trying to be a little bit more intentional in my purchasing. But I'm also saving all of my pennies for my trip to Japan in a couple of months, in like 2 months. So we'll see, you never know, famous last words, but my plan is to try not to buy anything. I really just want to go, be in the atmosphere, see all the amazing yarn that is available and that's around. I'm also really excited. I'm going to be catching up with Sally from Society Knits. So she has a podcast channel, knitting channel, where she talks about all things Australian fibre arts. So whether it's Australian dyers, Australian yarn companies, Australian patterns. She's all about the Australian yarn industry and fibre related things. And so if you haven't checked her out, go and check her out. So I'm really looking forward to meeting her. Hopefully I might see Ali from Fibrebound if she's there. Catching up with another friend of mine who was one of my friends that really encouraged me to switch from crocheting to knitting. We'd catch up and I'd watch her knit and I'd love what she was doing, and so really inspired me in that way. I am going to be wearing my love letter top by Kutova Kika. It is a very, very humid day outside. We were forecast to have something like 80 mils of rain today. I think they've dropped it. I think it's only going to be like 20 mils now. It is not raining at the moment, but it's still warm. So, yes, a bit humid. So I thought this is the perfect top. It's got some holes in it to let some air breathe in, but it's just beautiful. So, yeah. I'm going to take you guys along with me as I explore Fibre Feast. My husband is coming with me, so I might get him to take some creative, artistic shots of things, and I'll try and check in along the way. I'm a bit funny talking to a camera. I'll bring my microphones, but we'll see. We'll see how I go. Anyway, thanks, guys. I'll chat with you at the end.
Look at the feel rattling there. Oh, yes.
Brooke, who is my friend at the Spinning Guild, and I've got some other friends.
Enkin,
that's
and Mandy.
it. And Mandy. I've met you guys. I don't, yeah.
I'll go back.
Can you tell us about the guild, Brooke?
So we're from the Handspinners and Weavers Guild of South Australia, and we're at Fibre Feast today promoting our guild and all the wonderful things we offer. So we've got an open day on the 21st of March. We're at Mile End on South Road, and we'll have spinning, weaving, felting, dyeing, everything else as well. Today, though, we've got our demonstration for spinning a braid. So a braid is a commercially prepared piece of fibre, and then what we've done is we've split it in half, and then that half has been split again into 4 quadrants, which is shown here, and then you spin the normal half by itself, and then you apply it all together, and you get different types of yarns. So you can see our board's got all the different types of ways you can do it. The lovely ladies here are spinning as well. Mandy's whipping through, she's almost done, and then we're going to start plying. So yeah, you can learn to spin. We've got all different types of wheels. This one here is a Louette Jane, which is a transportable wheel. Victorian. Louette Victorian. And then this is an Ashford Traveller, which is an upright wheel. And we've got lots of wheels at our guild that you can borrow and things like that. Yeah.
And it is so much fun.
It is a lot of fun.
You don't do much in the summertime, but it gets you hooked. So come and check it out. It's so much fun, and Brooke is standing in the way. Brooke is very, very knowledgeable about the spinning. She helps me out a lot. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, where are we now?
This is our little glory gallery. So this is where all of our members sell their products that they make. So we've got hand-spun yarns, carded bats, braids. So following up from our last little segment, this is actually a braid that one of our ladies has hand-dyed. And so this is what they've split up to spin for the demonstration. We've also got some different products. We've got yarns, that's some roll lags, so they're made on a blending board, and they've got different fibres in there. So you've got silks, you've got merino wool, you've probably got some camel, what else is in it? Soybean, rami and alpaca, lots of different colours there as well. So our store is open on Wednesdays and Saturdays from 11 till 3. It's also located at Mile End on South Road. Oh, look at that one, that's pretty in purple. Yeah, so we sell different plies, different blends. This is a merino silk blend, which is absolutely divine. All usually hand dyed. Well, not always hand dyed, but a lot of it's hand dyed. But all of it's hand spun and handmade. So that's the important part. Supporting local, a lot of local producers as well. But make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram, Spin Weave SA. We've got all the details, and if our shops ever close, it's always publicised on there. We're also at the Royal Show. We've got a stall, so be sure to check us out there as well.
And if someone wants to become a member, do they just go to the website and follow that?
Yeah, so to become a member, I recommend coming into our guild and doing those sorts of details. So we're open Tuesday mornings for a social spin from 9 till 1, Wednesday nights for social spinning from 5:30 to 8 p.m, and then the first Saturday of every month we're open for a guild meeting, which again all the details are on our Instagram and Facebook, and that's from say 9:30 till 1 o'clock, and then we have a social spin after that. But yeah, pop in any time on a Saturday or first Saturday of every month, and then our open day 21st of March. That's the best day to come join to be a member,
because you can try on those days.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed those clips of Fibre Feast and my little interview with my friend Brooke. I actually filmed this video last week on the day, and I was so tired after the whole day. Like, I don't think I made any sense. I went all over the place in my ramblings. So I thought I would come on and film it now, say a lot of the things that I forgot to say on the day. I have written some notes so that I remember what I wanted to say. So they are down in front of me. So if I look down, that's what I'm looking at. But my goodness, it was such an amazing day. I had so much fun just being in the atmosphere. I feel like Fibre Feast has gotten bigger and bigger. And if you've never been to Fibre Feast happens on the same day as a like craft fair market kind of thing. I actually don't know, spring market I think it's called, at a primary school. And so they have all of their stalls outside on the front lawn, and then Fibre Feast have one of two of the buildings up the back of the school. And so, you know, part of me always thought maybe a lot of the crowds for Fibre Feast were people that were at the market that were coming in to see what Fibre Feast was all about. But my goodness, I feel like it was borderline busier today, this Fibre Feast, than previous years. And it is just so good to see so many people loving the fibre arts. And it's just such a broad range of fibre arts. I saw some cards there. I wished I'd filmed or at least recorded their names. If you were at Fibre Feast and you know the name of the business I'm about to say, please do put it in the comment because they deserve a bit of a shout out. They made cards, like greeting cards, birthday cards, like that kind of thing. And they embroidered the pictures on the front. And they were so beautiful, and they were only selling them for $7 each. Like, you could buy a Hallmark card in the supermarket for $7. That's mass produced. These things have been hand embroidered for $7, and I'm kicking myself that I did not get the name of the company. It was really overwhelming. I don't like large crowds often. And so it was a little overwhelming with all the people, and it was so hot and humid in the buildings. Now, I love me a little bit of humidity, but my goodness, there was so much humidity. My hair at the end of the day was this like crazy mess. But yeah, I feel like there are so many things that I wished I'd filmed, names that I wished I'd gotten that I just didn't do, which is a little disappointing. But hopefully next year with this reflection, I'll be able to be a little bit more present and a little less chaotic. Yeah, so point of my story, all sorts of awesome fibre arts. There's spinning, there were fleece braids, there was raw fleece, there was yarn. I mean, so much yarn, so much hand-dyed yarn, so many amazingly creative people. And it was just really awesome just to be there and be in that. I would like to say that when I got home and I changed into something comfortable, I realised that my top that I'd been wearing, my love letter top, was inside out all day. And I'm like, how embarrassing. I don't think anyone noticed. Maybe they did. It's the design of the top isn't overly obvious because there are sections of pearl and sections of knit, and so it's not overly obvious, but the bobbles were inside out, so you couldn't see the bobbles that make up love hearts. And my eye cord was inside out, so it looked weird. And I was looking in the mirror going, why does this look strange? And then I realized, oh my goodness, I have been wearing it inside out all day. I need to sew a tag on it or something. Anyway, so I just thought I'd point that out. You know, just in case you did notice, I became aware of it at the end of the day. So yeah, it was an amazing day. I'm sure you saw in the footage all the different yarn. Well, actually, I only captured a selection. Honestly, it was so busy that sometimes it was hard to get in to see some of the stalls. And I mean, I was there for a pretty long time. I think I got there at about 10:15, and I left, so from 10 till 4, and I left at around 12:30, 1 o'clock. And so by the end, it did start freeing up and I could see a little bit more, but by that point I think I was like really tired and out of it, and I just forgot to film the things that were available. But I got to see so many beautiful people and talk to so many beautiful people. I saw JMO and Matt from Skein Machine. They were so busy, I didn't get a chance to talk too much to them. But my goodness, they had such an incredible display up with all their amazing yarns that they've got. And then they're heading off. They're actually there right now to the Canberra Wool Fair, which is insane. And they're going to be in Bendigo as well. If you are going to Bendigo, check them out. And just some incredible things that they're doing. So I had a really nice chat with JMO. Matt was busy with customers. I had a really good chat with Tess from Fluff and Nonsense. She has some amazing yarns. She's so lovely. Just, you know, talking about her yarns and seeing people in their knitwear and how great it is to see all the different things that are out there. And yeah, so I didn't get any footage of her yarns, unfortunately, because we were talking and yep. I also ran into a friend of my mum, Jane. She had a stall there. She has a business called A New Leaf, and basically she gets secondhand clothing and she uses botanics, so like leaves, flowers, like gum leaves in particular are probably one of the most common flowers, like Australian native plants, and you roll the clothes up and you put it in some kind of like special concoction, and it dyes the clothes in the flower prints or the prints of the plants, and they're so incredible. So she had a stall there and I got to have a chat with her, and I know that she watches the channel, so hi Jane. And it was just really cool seeing all the stuff that she has. I'm going to have the names of all the people that I have talked about down in the description. So if you feel like you want to check out any of these businesses, you can down below. Who else? I met a really lovely lady from a company called The Pearl Box. Now, I have never heard of The Pearl Box before, but she had some beautiful yarns laid out. And so got my eye on a few, but you know, not ready to cast on, don't know what I'd use it for. So, but yeah, really lovely chatting to her. She was really lovely, and the yarn dyeing that she has is just beautiful. I did see Leah Simwell. It was really, really tempting, but they didn't have quite the colours that I was looking for this time around, and I just didn't know what I would use it for, and I'm trying to be very intentional, as you know. And as I said at the beginning, I'm trying really hard not to buy yarn just for the sake of buying yarn. I know that they're there. I know that I can go online and I will love the feel of their yarn, and it would just be a matter of the colour. But it was really nice to see it and have a little squish. Also didn't get any footage of that. Another person that I had a good chat with but didn't get any footage of their yarns was Craft by Bella. She is an Adelaide girl, I believe. Yep, local to Adelaide, and she does some incredible dyeing. So my joy scarf that I'm knitting is by her, and she has been experimenting with dyeing Suri alpaca, which can be used as a replacement for mohair in some projects. So I'm very, very intrigued to try that. And the way I compared, and this is what I wish that I'd captured in a video or even a photo. She had the Suri alpaca and she had the, I think it was merino nylon sock yarn, both dyed in the same colorway, and just how differently they came up. And so we had a discussion about that, and it was just, but I loved, so the colors were quite vibrant in the sock yarn, and they were really muted, and they almost blended together really, like they both blended together beautifully, but the way that they blended together in the Suri alpaca was just something about it. I liked it. So I hope she continues to stay on that experiment train, do a few more Suri alpaca dyes, because it was really top quality. And then right at the end, of the day, I bumped into, as I actually think we were like on our way out, Dave and I, we were going to go get some lunch. And I bumped into a friend of mine from the Handspinners and Weavers Guild of South Australia that I remember I did the course where I learned how to spin. Anyway, I bumped into her and we had a chat, and just randomly I was like, I'll interview you about the guild. So I've put that in there. That was really fun, and good on you, Brooke, for being such a good sport. Just being interviewed on the spot. And yeah, it was great fun. Do come along to the open day. If you are even remotely interested in spinning or weaving or just exploring what it is, come and check it out. You can have a try, get a feel for it, meet some really lovely people. Honestly, I love my spinning, even though I haven't done it much this year because it's been a bit too hot. It's just so addictive, and getting back into it on Wednesday night was just what I needed. So thank you, Brooke. I appreciate you taking the time to do that randomly on the spot. And then I also got to bump into, or actually it was an intentional, we tried to catch each other, Sally from Society Knits. I did get to see her. I didn't capture any footage with her because I was enjoying my time with her, but before she ran away, I did remember to get a photograph. So I'm going to put that in. If you haven't checked out her videos, do go check out her videos. She talks about all things Australian knit wear, like knits. So that could be designers, that could be yarn, it could be yarn dyers, just all things Australian, and her channel's great. So do go check that out. I also got to see Ali from Fibre Bound, and it was just, I didn't capture a photo with her. She was running out as I was running in. But it was just so lovely to get that first in person. You know, we saw each other and she gave me a really big hug, and it was like we'd known each other forever, even though it was the first time actually seeing each other in person. So it was really lovely seeing you, Ali. Yeah, just such a wonderful community. But I think my absolute highlight, I had a few, I actually don't know how many, but a number of people come up to me and say, hi, I watch your channel. I just want to say, well, you do a great job and I really love watching you. And I'm really awkward, and I am really sorry for that. I find this whole thing quite strange. It's very outside of my comfort zone, yet at the same time, absolutely love it. And so I'm really sorry that I was quite awkward when you guys came up to say hello to me, but please know that it made my whole day. Like, it was the absolute highlight of my day getting to meet some of you guys. I met Rosie, who is actually someone that has commented on, I think, all of our videos, if not most of our videos. And so when she told me her name, I was like, I know you. And so I felt like I knew Rosie as much as she feels like she knew me. So thank you so much for coming up and saying hello to me. It really, truly meant the world to me, even if I was slightly awkward. Now, I did have one funny encounter with a viewer. I was at a stall. It was just before I was leaving. I was at a stall, and I had said that I wasn't going to buy anything. I'm trying to be really intentional with my yarn purchases. I am going to Japan in a couple of months. I did buy something. And I was at this stall discussing what color I should get with my husband and the man who was running the stall. And there was another lady that was in there with me. And I don't think she'd said anything to me at this point, but the way she was looking at me, I was just like, I feel like she knows that I'm not supposed to be buying this right now. And so I said something along the way of like, I'm supposed to be on a yarn ban. I'm not supposed to be buying yarn right now. And she was like, yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but I was like, I'm pretty sure you said that you didn't want to buy yarn anymore. And I just thought that whole encounter was so funny, being busted buying yarn. So what I did get, I got a sweater quantity. Oop, cover my face. Of the Alpaca Allure. It says, farm to you, Alpaca Allure yarns have I've got to look at it. Have been lovingly grown, harvested, and processed sustainably and ethically from selectively sourced alpacas direct from the farmer. So it's 100% Australian owned and made by Fibre Naturally. And so the guy that I was talking to, him and his wife actually spin these up and make the different yarns and whatnot and dyeing and all of that from the different alpaca. And he said that this was a bit of an experiment where they mixed some, like they plied together some white, I think it is, alpaca fleece with some like dark chocolate brown alpaca fleece. And so the colorway is called, it's not on here, there it is. It is called Dark Chocolate Chip. And so I am going to be knitting up the Petite Knit Monday sweater in this. I just think the really basic pattern of the Monday sweater would just look so good with this gorgeous, just flecked, I don't even know how to describe it, two-tone, speckled, whatever you want to call it, fleece. And I just think it'll look so good. So part of my goal for the year is I do want to knit a like tailored wardrobe, something that I will wear often, and I know that that is a jumper that I would probably pull out quite often and it will go with everything. So I got a sweater quantity of that. I hope it's going to be enough. Yes, but that is all I bought. I was super disciplined. I'm very proud of myself that I did resist, because my goodness, there was some incredible things on offer that I seriously wanted to buy. So, but I was very, very good. And yes, I bought one thing, but I still feel like it was a win because I wanted to buy so much more. It was sad that Kendall wasn't there with me. She is going to see this video probably at the same time as all of you guys, so she'll get to experience Fibre Feast through my eyes with you all. But I'm looking forward to next year having her back along, because it isn't the same without her. My husband, however, gets bonus points for Husband of the Year award because he did not complain once. He did not rush me once. He made small talk with all the vendors and attempted to talk yarn and knitting with them, which I thought was awesome. He was the cameraman for my interview with Brooke, and he was just such an absolute champion. He is my biggest supporter of this channel and of all my knitting, and so I'm really thankful that I was able to take him along with me. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you for watching. And next year, if you see me at Fibre Feast, please feel free to come up. As I said, honestly, it makes my day. It was the highlight of my whole day, and that's saying something. But yeah, if you were at Fibre Feast, drop a comment below. What did you think? What were your thoughts? Do you have any amazing yarns that you saw, or anything new and amazing? Yeah, love to hear your thoughts on Fibre Feast. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.